Hello everybody, welcome back to the Great Ones channel, and oh, sorry about that guys, I'm getting a phone call. No caller ID, oh my god, it's crazy. Yellow?
Hello?
G'day.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, The Amazing Bulk, all the way.
Shit.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyways, done now. Sorry about that guys, I was getting a phone call. Anyways, welcome back to the Great Ones channel, and today I'm gonna be Why are they calling me again? Oh, wait, hold on. There, we're good, alright. Easy. Anyways, welcome back to the Grandma's channel, and today I'm going to be ranking all 5 Scream movies that we have gotten so far from worst to best. Now, I'm saying Scream movies that we have gotten so far because Scream 6 is already in production as we speak. It's pretty fucking crazy since we literally just got the new Scream movie this year, and a 6th Scream movie is already in production, and it's coming out next year. Crazy! Anyways, let's get started with this ranking video. Coming to number 5 is going to be Scream 3. Yeah, a lot of people say Scream 3 is their least favorite out of the franchise, and I do agree, Scream 3 is just not a great movie. It's just a lot dumber and weirder compared to all the other movies. It's not as scary, and it's just a lot sillier. And yeah, it's also just a very forgettable sequel all around. It's very forgettable, very boring at times, and it's just a much weirder movie. It has a lot of weird shit that goes on in the movie, like this whole stuff going on with Sydney's mum, and especially the scene with her as a ghost and in a dream nightmare sequence. I don't fucking know. That was kind of weird, and you know, the reveal at the end of who the killer is not only very not at all interesting, but it's also just painfully forgettable. Like, holy shit. I'm just gonna keep saying it, like the fucking twist in this movie is just so forgettable, boring, uninteresting. Like, this twist was just garbage. I'm gonna keep saying it, it's such a crappy twist.
Don't wanna hear it.
It's a shit twist, like, come on.
Fucking damn it!
My bad. And like I said before, this movie is a lot goofier than the other movies. The movie just has a lot of very silly, weird moments that at times can be really funny.
Oh, you motherfucker!
And there's times where the movie is just really weird, like this girl running while reaching her hand out, like, Jesus Christ, are you good? And that girl, throughout the whole movie, is really weird, very goofy, and she just acts really strange. And yeah, so it was a bit of a relief when she finally got killed off. I just had to say that. I'm not saying Scream 3 is like the worst movie ever made. It's 100% not. It does have its fun moments here and there when Ghostface pops up and does his usual killing and stuff. It can be really fun at times, even when he's fucking getting his ass whooped. Yeah, and you also get to see Ghostface have his new voice changer where he can literally change his voice into literally anyone, which is kind of cool, but really dumb and doesn't really make sense, but it's kind of cool. Stupid, but it's kind of cool. And overall, I think Scream 3 is not amazing, it's not great, it's easily my least favorite of the franchise. It's just not as enjoyable as the other movies, it's not as scary, and the twist at the end is just very lame, and it also just has some really silly moments here and there. It's just kind of like W2TF moments, like what the fuck am I watching? But overall, you got the OG characters, Sydney, Gale, and Dewey there. It still has some cool scenes here and there, but overall it's just kind of meh. And one more thing I do want to point out about Scream 3 is that Gale's hair in this movie looks terrible. I just had to say it. I'm sorry, but it looks really ugly. It does. So, I just had to say it. Moving on. Coming to number 4 is going to be Scream 2. Pretty enjoyable sequel, pretty fun, especially in the opening where it took place in a movie theater. That was pretty cool, I like that. But of course, it was still pretty brutal. But yeah, Scream 2 for the most part is pretty enjoyable. You got Ghostface roaming around killing people once again. A lot of the kills are pretty cool. A lot of it is just a couple stabs here and there, and that's about it. Nothing too crazy, but I still thought it was fun to watch. You got Sydney, Gale, and Dewey, the OG characters here again, so they were fun to watch, of course. I do like the reveal of the killer in this movie, who is this guy named Mickey. I thought the actor did a pretty good job acting really insane and crazy. And I like the scene of him acting like Sydney's boyfriend, who's all tied up. He's acting like he was like a part of it and they were working together, but they clearly weren't. I really like that scene. That was pretty good. It was very evil. That was pretty good. And I do like the second killer, who is this crazy woman, who we find out is the mother of Billy Loomis, who was the killer in the first movie, who was just trying to kill Sydney just kind of for revenge, I guess. And yeah, the motive was pretty simple, but I still thought it was kind of cool. And one scene in this movie that I just never look forward to watching is this scene of Sydney's boyfriend just doing a little, just fucking singing. I'm sorry, I was not into this scene. It's just one of those scenes I just never look forward to watching or rewatching. Every time I come back to this movie, every time this dude's about to start singing, I just start to cringe.
And so I just decided.
Some of the new characters in this movie are okay. Sydney has like a new friend in this movie who's kind of annoying, but it doesn't really matter because she ends up getting killed off, so it's like whatever. I don't really like how Dewey's character concludes in this movie, how it's just basically the same as how it was in the first movie. He gets injured by Ghostface, but doesn't die somehow, and then just ends up going to a hospital. It's just like, damn, come on, poor Dewey. But hey, let's just be grateful that Scream 2 has another scene of Sydney slapping Gale. Good stuff. Anyways, let's move on. Coming to number 3 is going to be Scream 2022 or Scream 5. Yes, Ghostface has returned 11 years later after Scream 4, and now, this time, he is now witnessing the world of modern technology. And he is really not happy about it. So yeah, Scream 5, a pretty enjoyable Scream movie. I mean, it basically has everything you would want out of a new Scream movie. You got a very brutal Ghostface, you got the OG characters returning, you got some new characters who are pretty likable, and it just has everything you would want out of a new Scream movie, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And like I said before, this Ghostface is pretty fucking brutal. He even kills a character that we only just met in Scream 4. But he wouldn't have the audacity to kill off. It does suck that Dewey had to go out like that, but it does show that these OG characters can die. They have survived all of these Ghostface attacks 4 times now, and now that Dewey's dead, it does show that these OG characters can die. They are not invincible. And then there comes the big reveal, who are basically just obsessed fans of the Stab movies and are pissed off that the Stab movies are like really bad now, and that Hollywood are running out of ideas, so they just kind of try to do their own thing, kind of do their own way of revitalizing the franchise by just being killers and killing people. Yeah, so when I first saw this movie in theaters, I honestly wasn't sure about the motivation. I thought it just felt a bit off. Like when you look back at all the horrible things Ghostface did, and then you find out that they're just a bunch of obsessed fans, it just felt kind of unbelievable. It just felt weird. It did feel a little weird. It was a weird motivation. I mean, it was kind of funny. It's kind of, about toxic fans and how toxic fans can be and how obsessed they can be sometimes. It's kind of funny, and that's why I think it's just an okay little motivation, but it's still it's a bit silly. But overall, I still really enjoyed Scream 5. I had a good time watching it, and yeah, it was a pretty damn good Scream movie. Let's move on. Coming into number 2 is going to be Scream. Just Scream. Crazy. Yeah, why not? The original, the one that started them all. Yeah, I remember I watched this movie for like the first time when I was like 9-10 years old, and I actually kind of enjoyed it, weirdly enough. Yeah, I mean, one of the positive things about this movie is, of course, its opening scene, which is really creepy. I have to agree. It is actually kind of a creepy opening scene, especially the last shot of just seeing her hanging on the tree. Ugh, I hate that part. It actually gives me chills every single time. I fucking hate it. And yeah, like I said, I strangely enjoyed this movie when I was only like 9 or 10 years old. I actually didn't mind this movie, and I didn't find it that boring. So yeah, that's something I really can appreciate about this movie, is that it didn't bore me. I actually enjoyed it at such a young age. And one of the exciting things about this movie is that one of the killers in this movie is, yeah, you guessed it. And I know a lot of people really want Stu to come back for Scream 6 or 7, and I mean, that would be really cool and all, but when you look back at this movie and you see how he possibly died, he seemed pretty dead. So yeah, the movie can be kind of creepy at times, but it's mainly its opening scene that makes it really pretty chilling. And yeah, I think for its time, it was pretty violent. It was a very violent movie, and it was also really funny, even if if it wasn't meant to be. Like this scene, yeah, this scene was kind of funny. I can't lie, it was fucking brutal, but it was kind of funny. But yeah, this movie has a lot of its like meta humor, and so does this whole franchise. That's something I haven't really talked about, is that it's meta humor to like references to other horror movies and stuff, like Halloween and stuff like that. That's like one of the things people love about the Scream franchise, and it is really enjoyable. It does make it a lot more funner and funnier and just a lot better. So yeah, overall, Scream, the first Scream, very, very enjoyable movie, and it's of course the first one. It's the one that started it all, so of course it's gotta be number 2. But yeah, let's move on. Coming to number 1, weirdly enough, is going to be Scream 4. I know a lot of people may not like Scream 4 that much, but I personally really enjoyed Scream 4 a lot. I found it just simply dumb fun. I don't know. I just found it the most enjoyable Scream movie of them all. All the OG characters it was just great to see them again. They were really fun to watch. Some of the new characters some of them were pretty okay. Some of them were not that good. They were just kind of your typical cliche teenage type characters. But overall, Ghostface in this movie was very brutal. It's actually between this movie and the new Scream that has the most brutal Ghostface. But I don't know which one is the most brutal, but it's definitely between this one and the new Scream movie. 100%. Yeah, like, look what he fucking does to this girl. Like, okay, I don't know if I can show that, but there's the face. You can look at the face. But yeah, Ghostface is very brutal in this movie, and I just found this movie to just be the most enjoyable one. That's really all I can say. But one thing I really like about this movie is the motivation by the killer, who is Jill Roberts, I think that's her name, who was like Sydney's cousin. And I do like the motivation. It's a very simple motivation. Basically, it's just of jealousy of Sydney's fame, I guess. It's very simple, but I still enjoyed it. And the actress who played the killer did a really good job. And then the scene of her torturing herself, trying to make her look like the victim, I guess, was great. It was honestly probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. It was really fucked and also kind of funny. I enjoyed that scene a lot. It was pretty crazy, and overall, I enjoyed Scream 4. It was just simply dumb fun, I guess. I just enjoyed Scream 4 the most. It had like the most brutal ghost face, and it just was the most funnest Scream movie, to my opinion. Alrighty, guys, this is gonna be the end of my little ranking of all the Scream. Oh, fucking hell! He's calling me again. No caller ID. God damn it. Yellow.
I want to play a game.
Okay, fine. We can play a fucking game. Alright, let's play a fucking question game. Yeah, you asked me a question. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think I made it inside
Nope.
your house?
He's not in my house. No, of course not. He's not in my fucking house. How could he have come in my house? I didn't hear any noises, I don't think. He's not in my house. If I hear one single noise, I'm gonna lose it.